A shout out to our podcast sponsor, sportsponsorship.co.uk. If you or your business are interested in making a real difference to the Scottish game, supporting hundreds of kids into regular football, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk and they'll find the right fit for your brand. Hello everyone and welcome to Tinpot, a Scottish football podcast with lots of nonsensical chat, idiotic views and Matthew Strugnall's beard if you're watching along on YouTube. This is episode 50, a celebratory episode. We've made it to the half century, as well as a few Tinpot on Tour episodes. We're actually way beyond that, but my golly gosh, if you've listened to episode 1 through to 50, we thank you deeply from the bottom of our hearts for sticking with us. That's must be close to 100 hours in total. Congratulations Tinpot, congratulations listeners. It's a grand old day to be Tinpot, a grand old day indeed. My name's Tom, as usual, joined by Matthew and Andrew for a wee bit of Scottish football chat. We're going to be discussing the title races. We have been for a while now. The Scottish Premiership title races, 2 games to go. There's a point in it at the top. There was a couple of huge games at the weekend and yet another twist in the tail, so plenty to be discussed there. And we're also going to look at the playoffs for League 2, League 1, Championship and the Premiership as they all are reaching the final stages. So we're going to be making our predictions, chatting about what's happened so far, as we promised you last week. A wee bit of lower league action. And then we're going to end with a quiz. That is the Tinpot Standard. That's what's coming up. So without further ado, we'll bash on with a question and answer session with Matthew Strugnall. I heard rustling earlier on, sir. Would it be a snack that you have there?
Yep, I didn't have time to eat it, but I'll show you on the camera. It is in fact a Borders biscuit in the shape of a rectangle.
Nice.
It's a lunchbox version of the Borders biscuit. And, you know, Andrew got me thinking, what is your Mount Rushmore of Scottish confectionery? Now, it has to be something that's made in Scotland by Scottish people. Well, not really, but the factory has to be in Scotland. I don't care who works in the factory. I'm not reformed. You can be any kind of nationality working in Scotland. I don't care. As long as you're making this sweet, delicious food. For me, right, I've got like Border biscuits, class, chocolate ginger, the goat, and then you've got your Tunnocks, bracket tea cake, wafer, log.
Wafers in there for
your iron
sure,
brew,
yeah.
obviously. I'm not a drinking man, but I know Tam would probably have Tennants in there. You know, I think Tam Tennants is a
Tennants is in there 100%.
Bar just in general, brackets cola, brackets cream soda. I don't know. Maybe a Highland coffee bar, classic from the past.
Yeah. Lost a couple of teeth with that.
Buchanan's are they Scottish? Like we like coffees and shit like that. You know what I mean? Buchanan. Bobbies.
Yeah.
Bobbies. I fucking love Bobbies, man. I don't know if they're Scottish.
You love Bobbies?
Love to get this clipped up.
You know what Bobbies?
I love Bobbies.
Bobbies. I love Bobbies.
Were you asking a question in all this? I feel like you've just almost listed all your favourites and
name your Mount Rushmore.
Bobbies is
I'm
good.
gonna start off here by naming every single Scottish produce that's ever existed.
Bobbies.
Heard of Bobbies?
He loves Bobby.
I love Bobbies because it's so cheap. Like it's like 2 for 60p of crisps. Or they do like the really long, like chewy sort of stick you can eat. Bobby, Tam, over to you, mate. You like Bobbies or
What's left? What's left, Tam?
Oh,
Graham's Dairy.
Oh, Graham's.
Oh, no,
Graham's
never mind.
Dairy.
Well, protein pouch from Graham's is goat. Yeah. And
Simon Howie.
oh, he does good square sausage. I do like that.
Sold out a bit, I'd say.
Nairn's oatcakes. Do they get a? I mean, we're just listing them all now. The Mount Rushmore. If you're allowed 4.
Yeah.
Shortbread.
Is it only 4 in the Mount Rushmore?
Walkers. 4 in the Rushmore. It's Tunnocks just as a brand. Anything under Tunnocks.
Scottish Bracket General
Bars as a brand. Tennants
as a brand.
and Yeah, fuck. I'll go Walkers over Borders. Yeah.
What? Just Border, mate.
Go Walkers.
Yeah, takes me back. Yeah.
No, Walkers is
I'd
better.
agree with that.
No. Walkers the kind of shit that you buy in fucking Royal Mile. That's garbage. You know? That's the kind of stuff tourists buy when
No.
they get a...
They're the OG shortbread.
Not if you go like up north. You used to get like bags of fucked shortbread out of the factory, and then it's be like cheap as chips, and you got this massive bag of shortbread. Fucking sweet. It's epic.
Fine. I disagree. I'm a Border man. But, it's just me. Andrew, I got any other ones? Maybe Mackey's ice cream or crisps now they do.
Oh,
Mackey's ice cream's
Yeah.
a great shout, to be fair. Yeah. Tonics is good, but the tea cakes can just get to fuck, I think.
What?
Can just get booted straight out the window. Yeah.
Are you insane?
Controversial opinion.
You don't like a
They
tea
taste
cake?
like shit. I'll eat one every time there's a tea cake on the go. I know I'm not going to enjoy it, but I'll give it a go. See if I like it now. And then I fucking hate it. It's disgusting. It's
Do you know
horrible.
how I eat the tea cake?
I would agree. It's not my favourite.
No, you've
Like,
I
got...
don't know why I do it though.
Eat it like this,
They're
right?
overrated. It's just the
No.
stereotypical Scottish thing. The logs and the wafers are better, but I mean, I don't hate.
I
tea
could demolish
cakes,
an 8-pack of tea cakes in like 2 minutes, man, honestly. You nibble the chocolate off, then you lick all the marshmallow, and you've got a wee biscuit at the bottom, you just eat that at the end, like, so you got marshmallow
You ain't
on the
eating
beard
that in
and
8
that.
minutes.
8 in 2
Without
minutes.
just eating
yeah,
it. Without just shoveling it in. You're fucking nibbling it like a little mouse,
And
getting all the chocolate off.
And licking the marshmallow. Fucking great. Oh, man,
do
I
that
love...
in 8 minutes. Magda's a lucky lady. Jesus Christ.
Ooh! Wow. I tell you who I've forgotten about in all this is Campbell's shortbread. They're based in Callendar, or they're from Callendar. Older than Walkers, so I think Donald Campbell of 1830 will be rather angry at me if I usurp him with Walkers.
No, it's good. You've got the Pattersons that pops up as well. And that's not as good. Right, Miss Patterson.
Can I have a bit of shortbread, please?
Shortbread, Miss Patterson. Nah, Walkers is the
What about
the
gin?
G
You guys
of,
drink
of
gin? There's a few
shortbread.
good gin brands going about.
There's loads of good. I mean, whiskey and gin is.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Can't really drink them like during the day or
too-
that. Like confectionary.
What do you
you
mean?
know, sometimes you
Well,
can.
you can. You can.
Like, you can.
You shouldn't. You might.
You
You can put
shouldn't.
anything in a
Straight-
You can put anything in a Stanley Cup these days. Hey, I'll get what there. Liter of gin. I don't know.
I can't believe
pretty-
you went straight in with the gin over the whiskey. That's
Yeah,
poor.
Well, I thought whiskey was a
Very poor.
fucking open goal, mate. Cy Ferry.
A nice 12-year-old Glengoyne in a
12-year-old.
red box. That's the sort of whiskey you should be having in your cupboard.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
yes.
you,
God
fucking
bless him.
old
Bert.
guy. R.I.P.
You almost forgot his name there.
Old Bert. Old Bert's whiskey.
This is the ballad of Mrs. Begg. Lovely
I'll
stuff.
look out for Bert.
What else has been
Sorry. Mistake.
happening in your lives, lads? We've not really had much chat other than about Struggy's Mount Rushmore idea. Did you both vote on Thursday? Shall we make Tinpot go political?
What happened on
Yeah,
Thursday,
why not?
like, mate? What's going on?
Oh, shut up. You know fine well, you reform voting bastard.
Hey, that's slander. That's slander, mate. I could sue you for that in court again. Like, totally.
That's what a reform voter would say.
Exactly.
Leave in court.
Trying to get more money out of the man.
I did vote, mate, and that's been me in the ballot box, so I will not divulge that information to the likes of you.
Okay, how did you feel when the results were published then? Can you answer that question?
Confused, I was going to say. Confused, mate. Confused. Confused.co.uk. Hashtag, what's going on with
Not
selection?
enough light blue seats?
Well, light blue. Yeah. No, I just don't understand. I don't know if Andrew can shed a light on it. The whole how it works in Scotland for a party that loses every single constituency seat to then have 15 MSPs or whatever the reform people got. I don't understand how that works. Do you know, Andrew, how it works? Proportional representation. What a fucking nonsense. Woke nonsense.
Yeah, not entirely. Like in terms of how they figure it out, but I think it's based on how well they've done, not as in how many seats they've or how many constituencies they've won, if that
0.
makes sense. So, yeah, but the amount of gains that they made during that time, I think, is
seems a bit unfair though, right? That they lose
concerning.
They lose every single constituency and then still getting fucking.
Well, it would mean that then hardly anyone would have.
Yeah, that's the
anyone
point,
else would have any seats, I
Well, they
guess.
shouldn't bloody hell get them then if they can't fucking win a constituency. Then should they? The fucking losers. They should
I
be
mean,
bloody.
I'm
SNP.
not against the change of the rules for just now. Like,
I'm
that would
going
be
to
fine.
start a petition as well. Tomorrow I'm just going to do it. And write the local MSP
mental.
Shirley Ann Somerville. Big up
Absolutely
Shirley Ann. Come on. Shirley Ann Somerville. Yep. That's what they were trying to say in my local polling station anyway. I don't know about you.
There's only one Shirley on Somerville.
Doesn't ring off the tongue. Yeah, what was it like in Camelin, Tam? Did you knock over any reform signs when you're walking past your local polling station? Were you racially abused? Or?
Well, you're going to be angry at me here. I'm up in Aberdeen. I have been for the last 2 weeks working, and didn't in time get my postal vote or my proxy vote sorted, so I didn't even get to
oh
cast.
my god, this guy,
That's poor.
biggest patriot in the world,
Yeah.
going on about bloody this and that and that and this. Didn't even vote. Didn't even vote.
That's fair.
That is
That's fair.
unbelievable.
I know.
How do you feel about that?
I'm awful.
You ashamed?
I just won't have any views politically until the next vote. I'll abstain from passing opinion because I've not voted, so I'll just shut up. Same as all the people who voted no to independence 12 years ago should shut up about the fact that the whole country's gone to shit.
Yeah, Andrew, shut up.
Due to Westminster. You also voted no.
Me? That's between me and the ballot box. Another lie told by
And
you.
Shirley Ann.
Another lie told
Shirley
by
Ann's
you.
box. What?
Hey, that's the MSP you're talking about.
What's that?
No, I didn't vote in that one either. I forgot to put my postal
No, you
vote.
didn't.
Forgot my arse.
No, you didn't. You voted no.
Well, I,
Terrible.
for
Matthew,
one, couldn't
Christ.
foresee the shower of shit that would rain upon us in the preceding 10 years or whatever. So, you know, I don't think anyone predicted
God.
Brexit, COVID, reform. Maybe they did. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know,
Begs the question,
It's
what did
mental.
the Proclaimers spend about 3 days writing cap in hand for? What was the point in them spending all those minutes writing that song? If you're just gonna vote no.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Matthew.
better
We'll go down that road.
together. It was Jack Johnson that got me, mate. Hey, that's what they just kept playing. That's the catchy tune. Better together. Is that Jack Johnson? And I was like, that guy fucking knows his stuff,
Brainwashed by
man.
Alistair Darling.
Yeah, I was gonna vote no. I thought the question was, do you want to stay with pals England? I wrote no. I was like, no, I don't. I don't like them. Then I read the question again. And I was like, after I'd voted, someone said the question was, do you want independence? I thought, oh shit, I fucking read it wrong. So
Yeah.
I actually
it's
meant
easy
to
done,
vote
innit?
yes, but I read the question wrong. There you go.
You're just
So
trying to
then
rush.
you... sorry.
The question was, do you want to be independent? And I wrote no. I thought it said, do you want to be part of the UK? And I wrote no. Thinking, no, I don't want to be part of the UK.
Well, it would have been a ruined vote anyway if you wrote no. You're supposed to put a little cross in the box.
So,
So
damn.
it's just a spoiled vote.
Damn.
You've not done any damage.
Speaking of posh bastards taking off all our stuff, I was in Elie over the weekend, mate, and that's full English people buying all the houses and that. Nice place, to be fair, but
Yeah.
every second person's, oh, hello there, oh, hello. Like, well, where are you from, mate? You're not from bloody Buckhaven, are you? You're not from Buckhaven, son. Along the road. You know, for
I
methodist.
caught me off
Yeah.
guard.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Nice place though, but too many extensions. I'm not gonna lie. Every fucking house got an
Too
extension.
many extensions.
Every bloody house got an extension. Why? Needs so much space.
Get our pal down at Dobby's.
Yeah.
What was
He
his name? I
he's
can't remember his
fucking-
name.
That's why he's a bloody millionaire.
Be
Bloody
rolling
doing
in it.
extensions in Elie. Bloody hell. Yeah, nice place though. I'd recommend. Nice houses. Posh for me.
Good.
Yeah.
You sold that.
But the thing was, right, I was in
Lovely.
Elie, and I said this to you yesterday. I on the way back, I went to Elie, like holiday park, like really sort of nice holiday park. You go into the bar. There's always a bar which is full of Rangers and Celtic fans watching the game on the big screen. So no matter where you go, wherever the camper van's located, it's always full of weirdos. So you want to sit inside in a stinky pub and watch the football on a nice day they're going for a walk along the coast.
Were you? How did you manage to see them? Were you inside the pub?
I had to go through the pub to reach
Same
the
as everyone
toilet
else.
to get a child toilet emergency, so that's why.
Yeah. And then you hung about in the pub for the rest of the game, yeah?
No, I was
Like everyone
actually
else.
in the Robinson Crusoe play park, which is a play park with a Robinson Crusoe ship climbing frame. Very cool. And a really fast flying fox, I would say. Quite dangerous. But anyway.
Cool.
Andrew?
No, that was good. I enjoyed that. That was good. I've not really been up to much, to be honest with you. Obviously, watched the game, which
What game?
made me sad. And then, had a kids' party. First kids' party I've had at 5 o'clock at night in a pub. So that was
Your dream?
that was a real interesting experience. Giving kids loads of sweets and cake and shit like
5
that
o'clock, yeah.
at that time, and then try and get them to bed after is pretty heavy. So yeah, wouldn't recommend. I mean, it was good, don't get me wrong, but yeah, only because it was like on a Friday night. Apart from that, and yeah, not much else. I'm away to the Kilmarnock Dundee game tomorrow.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty important game for Killie. Try and get them sort of well into safety at that point. But yeah, I'll head along to Rugby Park tomorrow night, so that'll be good. But yeah, apart from that, nothing major. Looking forward to all the playoffs and seeing who goes up and down this season. But yeah, I think whoever ends up in that playoff spot in the Prem has got to be a wee bit concerned. I know we're going to talk about it soon, but it's a bit of a dangerous place to be this season. The Championship is very strong.
It is indeed. You've segued us nicely into chatting about some soccer ball, Andrew. Lovely, lovely stuff. Are you at the Killie Dundee game for business or for pleasure?
I'm there for business, so I'm there from, I don't know, about 3 o'clock onwards. I think the game doesn't kick off till like 7:45, so long day. But yeah, no, I'll be there for a while. Be in the Killie end. So sorry to our one listener that. I'll be in the Killie end, but I'll be a bit torn, I think. I don't really know. Very, very strange when you're neutral. I think when you're in the home end of anywhere as a neutral, you kind of feel like you have to support them, unless you like absolutely despise them. But
yeah,
kind of think I'll
or maybe you're a massive
Killie.
buddy and wanted Simmerton to somehow survive. But
yeah, that's it.
You'll get, at least you'll get a famous Killie pie. That's
I'm looking forward to it.
Class. Well, yeah, let's discuss Scottish football. We've got the weekend's Premiership title race stuff to dissect. Before we do that, we had a comment last week. Last week's episode was just immediately after the Hearts Rangers game, where Hearts came back from 1-0 down to win 2-1, and a Mr. at OrangeJuice922 has commented. You can already guess which side of the fixture he was on. Congratulations on victory by, all in capitals, cheating. Rangers deserved to win, but were denied by corruption. We will not forget this injustice. Tremble before your sins.
Is this
ominous
the
message?
Old Firm game or the Hearts game?
That was after the Hearts game. We've not released an episode since the Old Firm game, yeah, so...
Okay.
It was 5 days ago, that comment. So thanks, Orange Juice, for getting in touch, but not sure how Rangers were cheated out of that one. Your manager just failed to make the right changes, in my opinion. But I am trembling.
Yeah, it would be good to know, genuinely, like why they maybe felt that way. I can understand it. Maybe in the Old Firm, there's a couple of sort of interesting decisions there. But again, obviously Rangers only turned up for about 45 minutes. So the Hearts game, I think we were just well beaten, to be honest. First half we were fine. Second half, atrocious. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what the controversy was there, but I don't know.
Keep listening,
Maybe I
Orange
missed something
Juice.
pretty obvious.
Keep listening, son. We'd be
Yeah,
keen
yeah.
to hear your
Yeah.
thoughts on the Old Firm game. You're a loyal listener. We're very grateful that you took the time to listen and then comment, or you're just some crazy guy. Either way, keep commenting.
You can't go saying that. You're just being really nice, and then you just potentially aggravated
I
the
ain't
man
crazy,
or woman.
and I ain't a
person.
guy. Name the film.
Pass.
Dodgeball.
No.
Come on.
Oh,
Actually,
my
Houlihan.
dodgeball quoting is not good.
Come on. Chuck Norris.
Right.
No.
That was last weekend, as we've mentioned, the Hearts Rangers game, and it's an ever changing scene at the top of the Premiership table. Going into this weekend, it was 3 points the gap at the top. Hearts were up on 76, and Celtic at the time of kickoff were at 73 points. So Hearts were away at Fir Park on Saturday night, a nice 8 p.m. kickoff. Del McInnes is raging that none of the games are at 3 p.m, and I've got to say I agree, although partly he will be happy that he is getting TV coverage to the tune of about 6 minutes from the Sky Sports pre-match and halftime show. But yeah, it was Motherwell 1, Hearts 1. Motherwell took the lead, Hearts for the 5th game in a row going a goal behind, and they've clawed it back, but yeah, didn't manage to get the 3 points. And then it went to the Old Firm yesterday. Hearts at that point were 4 points ahead, and Celtic managed to batter Rangers in that second half to take all 3 points, winning 3-1. So the gap is now 1 going into the final 2 games. And of course, as we know, we've got Hearts v Falkirk on Wednesday night at Tynecastle, and Celtic are away at Fir Park before the 2 meet at Parkhead on Saturday afternoon. First of all, the Hearts game through in Motherwell, Matthew. What was your take on the game? I know you perhaps didn't watch all of it live, but you've seen the majority of it. Is it a case of Hearts bottling it? Motherwell's defence at home we know is very good. What was your take? Why did it finish 1-1?
Nah, Hearts didn't bottle it. It was a pretty scrappy game, really. Motherwell weren't at their flowing best going forward, but they did defend pretty well. And Hearts just couldn't carve out enough chances in that second half. As I said to you earlier, it was a bit frantic. I felt they were just trying to force it too much. I don't know if they were a bit desperate. I think that kind of they knew they needed to win that game to try and avoid attempt to avoid a last game shootout. So they just didn't have enough quality really in the final third. They struggled in the second half when Leonard went off injured. They couldn't really have any sustained pressure, and obviously going away Motherwell's tough place. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, a point there is not a bad result, but when you need to sort of win every game, then it's not a disaster. But and also Halkett going off injured as well. I don't know. They're not running out of steam, obviously, but it was just one of those games where they just couldn't create that one moment to win the game, and then it sort of just petered out. Really, nothing really happened.
Yeah, 2 pretty huge injuries for them going into the last 2 games. Halkett, in my opinion, they're sort of standout centre half, ever reliable at the back, and yeah, Mark Leonard, who's been a revelation since coming in January. He was pulling a lot of the strings. That's what I said to you boys in the group chat. He was pulling a lot of the strings, starting a lot of the attacking moves. His passing range is incredible, and his set piece deliveries are top notch. So to lose him, it's a big miss. I felt like when he went off and Kizaridis had come on, they changed shape a bit. Kizaridis hasn't been at the races for a while, and I thought he was particularly poor, giving the ball away far too often. And yeah, I think Kabore as well, I said this at the time, is more of a sub you'd bring on to try and close out a game because he's going to stretch the defence. He did that with Rangers pretty well. He made Rangers sit further back when they wanted to sit higher up. But when you're needing a goal, I know he is a forward, so it's a bit counterintuitive to say that he's the wrong subby to bring on when you need a goal, but he's not. I don't see much in him as a goal threat. I don't really rate him that highly. So
Yeah.
it was a shame, like you said, Struggy, very scrappy. But I think Shankland, you'd hope not come the end of the season, you want to see them lift the trophy. But if they miss out by a point or two, and he replays that open goal that he had in the first few minutes, I think he'll be kicking himself. Gildy, your take on the events at Fir Park?
Yeah, I mean, I did say that the Motherwell games will be the sticking points for all three sides that were going for the title at the start. So yeah, no shame in drawing 1-1 there. Yeah, they've dropped a couple of points, but yeah, they're a tough side. You know, they're a real tough side, and yeah, Askew's wanting to finish the season strong. You know, there's a lot of rumours about him trying to push himself up the list for the Celtic job. You know, so he's really going to want to put himself in the shop window. So yeah, no shame in it, really, to be honest. Away from home as well, I think, you know, you can be too critical. Yeah, Shankland's maybe missed a sitter there, but you know, at the end of the day, he's you know, you look at how he performed in that Rangers game. You know, he really sort of set the example, and you know, that was with the absence of Devlin, etc. there as well. So yeah, I think it's a fine point, to be honest with you. Still puts them in a good position. It's still in their hands. So yeah, not really too keen to be too critical, if I'm honest.
Yeah, fair enough. I think, like you say, it's all to do with context. That point at Motherwell, one of the hardest places to go in the league.
Yeah.
And 6 weeks ago, for example, if you've still got 8, 9, 10 games left to play and you get that point at Motherwell, no one bats an eye. It's just when you've got the final 3 games, every point matters so much. And it did look like a good point after the sort of first 10, 15 minutes at Parkhead, because Rangers were 1-0 up, and you're thinking a point extends the lead at that stage between them and Celtic. But it wasn't to be. Celtic got one back fairly quickly early in the first half, and then from then on it was not one-way traffic as such, but they dominated the game, didn't they, Celtic, for the next hour or so, especially second half. Rangers didn't really lay a glove on them. I think for me, Alistair Johnston, getting him back at this stage in the season has been crucial for them, especially with Araujo being out. Ralston is nowhere near the standard of either of those two. And not risking playing Oxlade-Chamberlain in this game again, which he's done in the past. I think that was a wise move. But focusing more on Rangers then, because they've kind of thrown it away, haven't they? They've lost their last 3 games. The first time in 26 years they've lost 3 league games in a row. It was somewhat in their hands as well. I think if they'd won their last 5 games after the split, they would have probably won the title as well. So it was in their hands. They've chucked it away with those 3 defeats. Your thoughts, Andrew, on Danny Rule, Rangers, that Old Firm defeat at Parkhead?
I suppose starting with the game itself, I mean, I think you know, your analysis is absolutely spot on. But you know, if the referee actually played to the rules, you know, they would have been down to 10 men very early on.
Right, orange juice.
With that Johnson tackle. Looking at the replays of it though, you know, that is a straight red. You know, it's a clear straight red. Studs above the ankle. You know, he's gone in with significant force as well. Very lucky to have not injured the young lad. So I think that would have probably changed the game. Would it have guaranteed Rangers a result? No, definitely not. Not with the way that Rangers have been performing the last, you know, couple of games. But you know, it would have put Hearts in a much better position, which is, I think, what everyone was kind of willing on, you know, on Sunday, to be honest. So yeah, really disappointed that a big decision in a big game, not a big game for Rangers, but a big game for this title race, has you know, gone in favour of those who give sort of bribes to refs and all sorts, probably, allegedly. So Yeah, I think that was a bit poor, but as I said, it wouldn't have guaranteed us a result. You know, we've been sort of 45 minutes FC for a few games now, and you know that's a shame. You know, obviously coming at a time when we're hoping to kind of kick on. I think the reaction to the manager's safety in his job has been ridiculous, if I'm honest. I think I'm probably in the minority. It feels like at the moment. It's crazy. You know, you've got to remember Rangers were eighth. You know, and he's put them in a title race. You know, when it came round to the split. So for me, I would have snatched your hand off at that, you know, at the point of Danny Röhl coming in. He's basically had to inherit all of that squad just about. You know, a couple of players signed in January. But yeah, the majority of that squad he's inherited. I think that he needs time. There's no point in taking on a young manager if you're not going to give him time. It's crazy. You be as well just go for experienced, established if you're quite willing to kind of swap about. You know, that's not the strategy when you take on a younger manager who's on the up. So I think the reaction to all of that has been ridiculous. But it is classic kind of Old Firm fans. You know, as soon as things are not going their way, they kind of throw their toys out the pram. You know, generally speaking. So. Yeah, a bit disappointed to see that. But yeah, on to next season really for us. I just really hope Hearts do it this season, that's all.
Yeah, that's all that Rangers really have to hang on to now, is that someone else. Normally when you're out of a title race as a Rangers or a Celtic fan, the other team's won it, haven't they? So at least they've got something to cling on to an extent. Just to play devil's advocate a bit with Danny Röhl, I was thinking about it myself. Not because I'm off Twitter and stuff at the moment, so I've not read anything about it or seen any of the fan backlash, but is Danny, like, I get what you're saying, you give him time, and you know what I'm like with managers, I want to give them probably more time than most, but he seems to have bottled pretty much every big game that he's had at Rangers so far. So 2 cup semi-finals, I think, against Celtic, one of which at home, the other one was at Hampden in the League Cup. Then you've got these 3 post-split matches. I think Danny Röhl's beaten Celtic once, which was under Nancy.
Yeah.
Beaten Hearts once, but other than that, I think he's only beaten Motherwell once this season. He's got like lower points per game. I know that you hate or people generally hate when I'm speaking to them and I chuck out stats, but lower points per game than all of the 5 managers you've had post coming back up to the Premiership. He's got the worst defensive record of all those in terms of goals conceded per match, and the second fewest goals scored. So there's got, and I know you're saying he's inherited a squad, but it's the most money they've spent since the year 2001 in summer, and it's also the most they've spent in a winter transfer window since 2001. So I'm not saying he should go, but you can understand when you throw all those stats out and like why potentially some people think he's not done a good enough job.
I think yeah, of course, absolutely. I can understand what you're saying, but he's collected the most points since, you know, out of any team since he became manager of Rangers, you know. So putting it into perspective, you know, we've never really had a situation where Hearts have been so strong, Motherwell have been so strong. Probably actually, into perspective, Hibs have been so strong, you know, over the last few years. We've also had plenty of occasions where managers have performed well in the big games, but not so good in the rest. So I think you can't really have your cake and eat it. You know, there is clear, you know, undeniable doubt that if you cast your mind back, you know, to when, you know, the season sort of kicked off with Russell Martin, that there was huge question marks over the players, and what he's done to turn around the mentality of some of them has been significant. You know, you look at Manny Fernandez, you know, as one example, Yusuf Chermiti is another. You know, these players are chalk and cheese in comparison to where they were. at the start of this season. They were written off. So I think he's genuinely got the best out of what he's got there. There's no doubt that there's plenty of players, I won't go through all of them, but there's plenty of players that have come in that are just really not up to it. Have maybe just not got the mentality to be able to give him something in those games, those big games. And that's clear that's missing, in my opinion. But that's not his fault. I don't feel that that's his fault. I don't think we need to spend 40 million in the summer. I think we can offload players and certainly bring in a decent amount of money over the summer. But I do think that he needs key players in there that get it and are able to maybe sort of set a bit of a mental standard. I think that's what's really absent at Rangers at the moment. They've got players that are young, that are the example setters, which are your Chermitis, your Fernandez, your Mikey Moores, your two Romans. But you can definitely see that there's a huge disparity in mental kind of fragility, I guess, when you're looking at other players that are within that squad, some playing, some not playing. But yeah, it needs to be refreshed. But I understand they've been pretty busy with that, prior to this drop off, to be honest with you. So I don't think it was something that they were unaware of, and I don't think it was ever the case, as far as I understand, that there wouldn't be that sort of serious refresh over the summer. So not that they kind of knew this was coming, but they knew that we weren't at the level we needed to be at pre-split, and that's hence where all your kind of stats have come from, Tam. So yeah, that's my kind of analysis of it, I guess.
Yeah, you're obviously a fan. You're really close to it. You know the ins and outs, and I'm normally just poking at it from the outside with stats that I see. And one of them is that it's keep getting mentioned. And you've mentioned it there again, that Roll's picked up more points since he came in than anyone else, which is true. It's currently 1 point more than Celtic since match week 8, which is more. So you're correct, but only 1 point more. And if you look at it since Martin O'Neill took over from Nancy, obviously Martin O'Neill has picked up more since then by quite a bit. And he's picked up a pretty broken Celtic team and managed to I think only lose two games in the league since then, against United and Hibs. But both Rangers and Celtic this season are a shadow of their previous selves. I think the only thing for me is these other managers, the Van Bronckhorst and the Beals, the Clemonts, etc., have been under scrutiny after similar-ish tenures. Clement was in charge for a lot longer, but there was some murmurings of unrest after 30 games in for a few of those other managers I mentioned, and their stats, their record is better. And if they're picking up from the other manager that was shite, so if Beale picks up from Van Bronckhorst or whatever it was, and the previous manager wasn't good enough, they're obviously picking up a pretty broken system as well, and they've performed slightly better than Rule has, and they got chucked out. So
definitely, I think my last very quick point on it is basically, the quote of the Celtic team being broken when Martin O'Neill took it over. Yes, because Nancy came in, but ultimately look at that starting 11. Look at that squad that played on the weekend. The majority of them have been there and done it and won the league before. They don't have a mentality issue. They have a fan issue, basically. That's what the serious problem has been over the course of the season. But your Johnsons, your McTrusties, your Callum McGregor's, your ginger haired fucker in the middle, all your most of that team, Maeda's,
your favourite centre back skills.
Yeah, exactly. All of them, have been there and done it before. So, there's a huge difference, when you're looking at a fresh Rangers team, which has basically almost entirely been replenished. A lot of it with young players, and, they just haven't really got that mentality there. So I think that's a big problem.
Struggy, sorry for keeping you out. We've gone back and forth about Rangers quite a bit there. You witnessed bits of yesterday's game again. The Old Firm Celtic now favourites with the bookies, favourites with yourself, based on what you were saying in the group chat yesterday. What's your take on the upcoming fixtures, the ones I mentioned on Wednesday, and then looking ahead to Saturday after yesterday?
Yeah, well, thanks for that extended review. I got to eat my Borders biscuit in peace, so that was good. Delicious treat during the podcast there. Put my mic on mute, as we all know a Borders biscuit extremely crunchy. So fair play to the guys at Border for continuing their high standard of produce. Anyway, on to the game itself. I didn't see. I saw maybe a minute or two as I was walking back and forward from the toilet a couple of times. But yeah, it's in Celtic's hands now, and they will win the league quite easily. They'll beat Motherwell 2-0. They'll beat Hearts 2-0. What did I say last week about someone scoring off the line apparently? I can't remember what I said, but no, in all seriousness, you're kind of hoping that Hearts, that Motherwell beat Celtic. That's really the only way Hearts will win the league, if Motherwell beat Celtic. Because Hearts take.
Or a draw there. Happen. No,
then it'll be 3 points, and then...
Yeah, exactly. They can go in and just lose 1-0.
If it's going to the last game and Celtic all they have to do is win or whatever, then they will win, and that's a fact. That's a struggy fact. They didn't lose in the fucking league at Celtic Park at a one-game shootout against Hearts with no Halkett, no Leonard, and no fucking Hope. It's just, I don't know, man. It seems inevitable now, no? You don't think? The way it's going.
Any other season, I would agree, because Celtic are so scary to play at Parkhead and dominant. And yeah, they've gone into a bit of a run of form, 6 games now, 6 wins in a row, something like that. But I still feel, and I said it at the start of the split, I said it last week, I just feel that Hearts in those games are better than Celtic at the minute. In terms of their attitude, their tactical setup with McInnes. I just think everything about them is better. I'll be proven wrong maybe, but that's fine.
Celtic's big game players are showing up now, and they're producing the goods in the moments. And that's what's going to win them the title, those moments. They can be shit for fucking 80 minutes and some bloody striker throws a bloody overhead kick. And Johnson being back, massive bonus. The 2 centre-halves playing. I just think they have the nous, and the occasion will get too much for Hearts at Celtic Park, I think. Whether it comes into tactical skills of the managers or the formations, I don't think it matters really. I think this one's a purely vibes-based match, and going away to Celtic Park and having to get a result, I just think it'll be too much for them. So, but they could win the league on Wednesday, which would be mad. Could be another Scott McDonald moment, you know.
This is the thing, you're forgetting that Celtic have to go to Motherwell, which we've all just banged on about as being such a difficult place to go this season. Motherwell's defence is immaculate. I still don't think Celtic were all that impressive against Rangers. Rangers, for me, didn't bottle it, I hate that phrase, but they got into the lead as they've done so many times this season, and just didn't give up, but like they rested on their laurels. They didn't keep attacking Celtic in the way they did the first 10 minutes. Yeah, and I'm not blaming anyone for that. But maybe, Andrew, you're right. The attitude problems in the dressing room, there's a mentality issue. But I don't think it's not like you were watching Celtic and there was a contained bit of pressure in the final third for 20 minutes and they're peppering balls in and getting shots off. It wasn't like that. And Celtic all season have been, apart from the last 4 or 5 weeks, which are the most important ones, but up till now, they've not had this threatening, scary Celtic that we're used to. They've been scraping a few wins in the 97th, 90 plus 10th minute. So they've got to go to Motherwell and pick up a result. Ideally for them, a win, obviously. And Hearts are at home at Falkirk. If Hearts put a few past Falkirk and Celtic end up with a draw, I think that Hearts, what's the most goals they've conceded this season? 3 to Motherwell in a 3-all draw, 4 against Rangers. I don't think they're their biggest margin of defeats by 2. So I'm still in the Hearts camp. Andrew?
Yeah. I'm right behind Hearts, obviously. I don't know. I just think the whole media circumstances around Askew and Celtic and everything, I do think that it might be a wee tummy tickling midweek.
Come on.
Nah, honestly, I do. I really do. I've just got a bad feeling about that. But we'll see. We will see. I don't know. I think if it comes down to the last day shootout. I'm kind of with Tam that I don't feel it's an absolute dead cert that that Celtic do it. The fact that they've got the home game again there is ridiculous. We won't go over that again, but you know, it's a hard route for Hearts. There's no doubt about it. But in the big games, they've turned up. So you know, yeah, sure, they might be missing Halkett, they might be missing Leonard, they might be missing other players by then, but they've been missing big players for some of these big games this season. So I'll back them. But
here's a question,
yeah,
Andrew
it's not...
and Tam.
Mm-hmm.
Who's paying for the open top bus parade around Glasgow and Edinburgh if Hearts win the league? If Celtic win the league, sorry, are Rangers and Hibs gonna have a joint open top bus parade? You know. Wait.
What?
Sorry.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying if Hearts win the league, sorry. Who's paying for the open top bus parade? Rangers or Hibs? You know, because
If Hearts
not
win the
Hibs.
league,
Hibs would not pay.
No,
What
no.
are you talking about?
if
I'm
Hearts
pretty sure
win the
Hearts
league,
would pay for it.
no, sorry. If Hearts win the league, then Rangers will have an open top bus parade. But if Celtic win the league, then Hibs are having an open top bus parade, right? Is that what's happening?
Well, all the Hibs fans would be at the Celtic Open Top Bus Parade anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you'd
yeah.
save money, just get a 2-for-1 there, eh?
Fuck that one
But,
right up, man. I was too fucking. I'll think about something else.
You stick to the Borders biscuits and I'll do the football.
Mate, I was thinking about having another one. Like I was trying to sneak away and maybe get one. Like text back to say, bring me another board.
bastard.
You can't have one. You just can't have one. But anyway, no.
Very good.
You'd obviously love to see Hearts do it at Celtic Park. It'd be absolutely hilarious, you know. With like 100 fans in that little corner and fucking place emptying. That'd be brilliant. Bloody tough ask, you know. Bloody tough ask.
How many fans would be left at, say, 60 minutes if it's, say, 3-0
My
Hearts
God, man, it was 3-0.
on that final day? Would there be...
Rod Stewart and his son
20,000?
fucking steaming in the fucking
Yeah,
direction
Rod
box.
Stewart.
What an idiot, eh?
Yeah. He's even getting abuse
Struggy-
from the Celtic fans now. Yes.
Struggy's the only man left with a chance to get his 1, 2, 3 correct in the predictions we made at the start of the season. He went Celtic, Hearts, then Rangers. Andrew obviously said Rangers first, and I said Celtic,
Yeah.
Rangers, Hearts. So with Rangers confirmed in third, Struggy's the only man with 50 quid still up for
Is
grabs.
that Hearts guaranteed Champions
It's
League football
impressive.
next season then? In the playoffs or whatever, yeah.
Well, qualifiers.
Yeah, qualifiers, yeah, it's still counts.
Yeah.
Mate, Dundee United still call themselves in Europe when they've never actually been in the group stages. Ever.
Yeah.
Congratulations again on your Challenge Cup win.
Yeah, we were beaten
have
by
fun in the
Munich at half
Championship
time, mate. That was a
again
real
next year.
European game. Beaten by Munich at half time, third round or something.
No.
Like 5-minute game.
How are you feeling about, it's a bit of a segue, how are you feeling about the Pars and their chances of Premiership football, Struggy? You must be shiting yourself.
You must
as
be.
And European
Winston once
football,
said.
by the way.
Sorry, what? What?
Yeah.
Doesn't count if you're in the qualifiers. Yeah, I don't think Dunfermline will win fucking diddly squat this season, mate. They'll win diddly squat. They'll lose the playoffs next week, and that'll be that for them. They'll be fucking crying in the pit in Crease Park. There'll be no opened up bus parade in Dunfermline, that's for sure. And if there is, I'll be fucking going back to Elie for the weekend, son. So, guarantee that. Bloody hell.
Come on, you've got to be. You're a Fife man. You should be proud of the king, like the Kings of Fife doing well for the
Big
county.
question is, who's going to be paying for the open top bus?
Will it be East Fife or maybe
Shut
Falkirk will play for Dunfermline's Open? No, maybe Rangers.
Leave me alone.
Fucking idiot. Right, playoff chat, predictions, and all things playoffs. We'll
Yes,
rattle through
please.
these nail-bother. So, Dunfermline versus Partick is the semi-final of the Premiership playoff, and the winner will most likely be playing St Mirren. There's a 4-point gap with 2 games to go. St Mirren still to play Aberdeen and Dundee United. I highly doubt that they're going to win both of those and have Killie lose both of their games. So I think we're all in agreement probably that St Mirren going to be in that final against one of those two. First leg's at East End Park, and then they're away to Firhill for the second leg. I think the first legs are kicking off either Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and then it's a Friday or Saturday.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Second leg game. Gildy, who's making the final, and if it is to be St Mirren, who is best placed to play them?
Do you know what? This is a really tough one, but only based on the cup results that Dunfermline have pulled together, I think that might just give them the edge against Partick. But toss of a coin stuff for me. I do think that it'll be very, very tight. And from there, I've got to say, I kind of would fancy them to beat St Mirren, if I'm honest. Again, based on the same kind of theory. St Mirren, haven't really sort of found their feet. Even since I know they were struggling when Robinson was leaving, but they've not really found their feet properly since then as well. So I think, experienced manager and Lennon going up against an inexperienced manager. They've had some good results this season in big games. I've got to say I fancy them to do it.
Taking the Pars all the way to the Prem, and maybe a promotion.
Yeah, he already predicted them to win the league, didn't he? Like a mug. So I can't see this prediction coming true either. So,
class.
Well,
Struggy?
I must politely disagree with you,
obviously
Andrew,
not
mate.
gonna back
Yeah, I must politely
Dunfermline.
disagree.
okay.
Dunfermline will get battered in the semi-final. Just run out of legs, unfortunately, for the young team. A lot of young players. It's been a long season for them. I just think they struggled over the line against a poor Arbroath side. And we're lucky to get through with a saved penalty. Just could have gotten extra time and then penalties, so they probably would have got beat then. No, they've got a good penalty record, but Falkirk did miss them. That was another story. I think they will. Yeah, I think they'll just run out of steam. I think Thistle have had a bit of a longer break. Obviously, not going to play the quarter final. It's very rare that a team comes through from the quarterfinals to the final. So I think this will beat them. It will be tight. Obviously, I don't think they'll get battered. Lenny knows what he's up to. I think it could go all the way. I just think Dunfermline have had a really long season, doing amazing in the Scottish Cup. So yeah, this will get through the final, and I think this will beat St Mirren as well. They have a lot of firepower. St Mirren can't score. This will have been really, really good this season, so I think about time that Thistle did it after years of heartbreak in the playoffs. So there you go, Thistle up, St Mirren down.
Yeah, I am pretty much agreeing with everything you've said there, Struggy. I think at East End Park they'll maybe get a draw, go away at Firhill, and they'll just have too much. I think Dunfermline will be knackered by then. They've got one eye potentially on that Scottish Cup final as well. I'm not sure how much legs they'll be able to carry forward into that, but yeah, for me, Partick, and they played in the Scottish Cup, didn't they? Thistle and St Mirren, and it was 2-1 with a penalty for St Mirren in that game back in March. It was pretty tight, and I think since then, Thistle will have had that wee bit of break since the end of the season, through into these games. So I think, I agree with you, Struggy. I think they can come up. St Mirren are going to have to play United and Aberdeen last two games of the season, two pretty challenging games. Morale could be affected. And Stephen Robinson is, as much as he was a hero in the end of 2025, he's going to be looked upon grimly for abandoning ship and letting his team sink down into the Championship. They won't really care. They've just got a cup. They're happy. An actual cup, struggling.
Look what happened to St Johnstone, mate. They were fucking being shit for ages in the Premier League, having a boring time. Everyone's like pissed off and fed up in that, and then they get relegated, and then like one of their best ever seasons. Like, everyone's having a fucking great time. You win a lot of games, you can get promoted. It's always fun to have maybe one season down, unless you're Dundee United, and it takes you a good few years to get back up. But not everyone can do it the first attempt. Especially when you steal people's managers. So it's a good segue to the next one, no?
What are you in your sort of 29th attempt? Going to bounce back up?
Mate,
30th
about
attempt?
30 years, I think. Coming up.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway,
Yes, as you say, on to the Championship playoff, and this one in the semi-finals saw Airdrieonians get relegated. They are officially down after their defeat to Alloa Athletic, and the final is between Alloa and Steny after they beat Queen's Park. Queen of the South, sorry.
You
Queen of the South 4-3 on Pens. Steny have been the better side throughout the league season. They finished above them. But Alloa are obviously a more consistent side. They've been in the Championship a lot longer. Steny have just come up from League 2 not long ago. I'd love to see Steny do it. I'd love to see Naismith do it. Will his choice of jumping ship to Ayr United before the season's out affect that dressing room? I think, Andrew, you'd said it might. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I did think so at the time. But no, I think he will do it. I think he'll do it. I think it'll be tight again, but I do think that he'll manage it and he'll have a good send off from Steny, which it would be the perfect send off for him. You know, it was a huge gamble making that announcement early on. I think it was the wrong thing to do personally, but I think that he's got the ability to keep them on side and really sort of get them to bust a gut in this last game. So, I'll back them. I'll say that they'll get the result.
Yeah, I'm just going to go with my heart on that one. I just because I want them to jump up. I've got a lot of respect. I've seen a few of their games this season, and I love the way they're trying to play football. And I think it'll be refreshing. Alloa for me, I don't feel that they necessarily deserve that jump back up. Whereas I'd love to see the sort of fairy tale story of League 2 up to the Championship, with similar to Arbroath, another club like that. And it's also local to me, so more opportunities to get to some Championship games. Struggy, are you going the other way? Are you thinking the Wasps can do it, or?
I don't know. Alloa do have a pretty good playoff record. They know if they get the job done in the playoffs. No, I think Steny will do it. I think they're still riding high off a pretty great season. Obviously, no one expected them to be up there challenging. So, even though they did lose out on the title, I don't think it really negatively affected them that badly as maybe you saw with Spartans in League 2. So, yeah, I think Steny will do it. I think, again, it could be really tight, maybe looking at penalties again, but I think they'll be in the Championship next season. I say that'd be great because it's a lovely wee ground, so we can maybe go a few games and get into the VIP bit this time.
Just for a cup of
the
tea.
B&M bargains after the game for some snacks.
I think there's a Timmy Hortons near there
Nice,
as
mate.
well.
Nice. Feel like a wee donut hole or whatever they call them. Wee chocolate Timbit. Yeah, Steny and Naismith. Strange that they announced. I don't know why they couldn't just wait. Like what good does it do anyone? Like what the Ayr fans like raging? Oh, where's our manager? I don't think they're really that bothered. Like about not having a manager in the fucking end of the season. So maybe just give it another week.
Agreed.
I personally think it's been leaked from somewhere because, well, personally, if I was, unless Ayr are forcing Naismith to agree to it now, I would have said, if I was Naismith, I said, look, contact me in a month once this is done, because nothing's going to change for Ayr between now and then anyway, and you can then discuss it once everything's over. Because if you discuss it now and you agree it, and there's a leak, you're humped. You have to announce it like they have done, or potentially he felt bad lying to his players, wanting to be upfront about it, and then they've had to break it that way. But either way, I just don't think the discussion should have been had until the end of May, personally.
Yeah.
It's not long to wait. Anyway.
Yeah, I think it's bad advice on Naismith's part, to be honest.
Yeah,
because Ayr would have wanted to get it over the line, as soon as, because they know other vacancies would pop up. There'd be a high risk that they would lose their top man. Yeah. So there's a huge incentive for them to tie it up, but Naismith's looked at it as an upgrade and taking the opportunity, which you can't really blame him for. But arguably, if you maybe hung on, you might have other opportunities to look at come the end of the season. But anyway, yeah, I don't think it was handled brilliantly. Anyway, I did feel sorry for Steny, but I think he's got enough to just steer everyone on side, and it's a good situation to be in, to have something big to play for, and if he can get that over the line, then hell of a send off for him. And I think all's forgotten, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think it'd be interesting to see who fills that gap if Steny were to go up. It's a brilliant job for someone to come into. But alas, we'll move on to the League One playoff now, and looking at Hamilton Academical, Accies are taking on Clyde in the final there. The Battle of the Grounds, Broadwood versus the ZLX.
What a story it is. Fucking Raj, like,
It's bizarre.
so
Mental.
weird, man.
Mental. So Accies got to the final by they sort of breezed past Falkirk. Falkirk? I'm messing up everything tonight. Breezed past Forfar. And Clyde managed to sort of get a minor upset, defeating the Spartans 2-0 at home and then hanging on to a 1-1 draw away at Ainsley Park, which is another nearly story for Dougie Samuel's men. Accies v Clyde, thoughts on this one? The bottom of League One taking on, what was it, 4th place, I think, or 3rd place in League Two? Struggy, what's your take?
I think Hamilton have too much quality. Even though they're going through some tricky times, I think they've still got players there that can do the business. So I think they'll get the job done. And a bit of farewell to Hamilton and wave them off to God knows what. But the players will do their job, and then it's up to the board to get their fucking shit together to keep the club afloat. And that's a Struggy fact.
Gildy, take on this one?
I'm going to go with my heart with this one. I'll say Clyde.
Ooh.
I don't think there's going to be many neutrals wanting to back Hamilton in this scenario. I think that flying by the seat of their pants is probably not really doing it justice. But the fact that it's a team that's not even got a bronze license at the moment. You look at all that controversy we're talking about with Linlithgow just a couple of weeks ago. I think justice would be done personally if they found themselves in League Two. So hopefully Clyde can do it. Fingers crossed. They probably they wouldn't have been the favourites going into that Spartans game. So hopefully that's given them a good boost. Going into this huge fixture now. So I'll back Clyde. Hamilton haven't been perfect this season. But yeah, can't deny what Struggy said. They do still have the quality, so it'll be a really, really hard game for Clyde, but I'll back them.
I thought Clyde at the start of the season, I'm really shocked with how they've performed, to be totally honest. Change of stadium for them, and a team that I just didn't see had done too much over the last 18, 24 months, but what a season it's turned out to be for them. I'd love to see them do it for the reasons you've just mentioned, Andrew. I think my head, though, is saying Accies will have too much firepower to...
Do they have to sit in the away fans?
The
Hamilton fans have to sit in the away end in Hamilton. Can they just all sit together, everyone hugging in that? Because there could be 50 of them there, so no one really gives a fuck.
It's not the rugby, is it?
I don't know. They could come together in shared sort of, like a banner, like sort it out, clubs,
So
let us play at our own
does
stadiums,
that mean?
sort of thing.
Does that mean that if whichever team win, both of them will pay for the open top bus, or who pays for it?
Good one, mate.
Zing. Right.
Me there.
Final
dear.
playoff. It's another final, and it's to see who's going to be playing in League Two next season. Edinburgh City against Brora Rangers. So
Who Andrew's going to
first leg was... What's that, mate?
We know who Andrew wants to win.
Oh, it's a Rangers joke. First leg was 1-1 up at Dudgeon Park, coming back down to Meadowbank. Edinburgh City obviously had that big points deduction at the start of the season, and Brora have gotten there through a bye. As we've mentioned, Linlithgow Rose didn't even get to compete in the semi-final against Brora, so they've kind of jumped straight in there a few seasons after not being able to come up themselves. Do we want to see Brora come up? Would that be nice? Because they've been top of the tree in the Highland League for a few years now. They've been one of the best clubs up there and have been knocking on the door. Or do we want to see Edinburgh City stay up and see if they can try and get up to League One next year? Because I think it'd be one of the stronger teams there. Struggy, come to you first again.
Well, you say they got a bye. They'll be getting a few more buys when they get battered on the other night when they're playing. Nah, I think Edinburgh City will win that. Bye. But, instinct. I think Edinburgh City will have too much at Meadowbank. I think they'll win. I don't think it's fair that Bro are in this final because they got a bye. So who knows if they'd even be good enough to overcome the winners of the Lowland League. So, I mean, they have been battling at the top for a while, and obviously they did have their own injustice without getting in the playoffs before. But now Edinburgh City will win, and Edinburgh City will stay up. I don't know where they would have been. Would have been in the promotion playoffs? They hadn't had the relegation or deduction. They would be round about the promotion playoff spots in League Two. Obviously, they weren't. They were close for a wee while when Arbroath sort of pulled away. But I think they've got too much quality. They're not a team that deserves to be bottom based on sort of quality. So they'll win that, I think.
Gildy?
I'm back in Brora. I don't know. I think I just think I know they got a bye with the Linlithgow situation this season, but they've been pretty. Our big issue with that was that a team that was performing well, didn't come up for footballing reasons. You can say that plenty of times for Brora. They've just not had the paperwork, so to speak. So, yeah, not a fan of any of that. So, yeah, I would love to see them come up. It's good that they've got this opportunity. And, Edinburgh City, they have had their troubles, very well documented. So, maybe quite similar to Hamilton's kind of situation, not nearly as bad. So, I would like to see a team coming up there that I feel probably is a bit of a steadier sort of trajectory. Sorry, Edinburgh City really need to kind of sort themselves out, to try and get a bit of stability for next season and cut out points deductions and all that kind of shit. So, yeah, maybe a harsh lesson to learn, but for that reason, I'll back Brora.
An interesting one. I think the bookies will have Edinburgh City as pretty strong favourites. But a 1-1 draw up in Brora, and I was looking earlier on before the pod at obviously we don't pay a massive amount of attention to the Highland and Lowland League throughout the season. We can't fib to the listeners, but we do a wee sort of recce before we come on. They've only lost 3 games away from home, Brora, all season, and Edinburgh City have only won 3 games at home all season. So if you're looking at the home and away form, it's kind of on paper set out for Brora to do quite well. They've been in positions similar to this before, where they've come into these playoffs. I think, like you say, Andrew, they're geared up for this. They're a club wanting to build and to grow. So my heart is fully with Brora, but I just, I'll go with Brora. Fuck it, well, they're gonna win. Struggy, as always, has gone with the 4 favourites for all 4 ties, whereas me and Gildy have mixed it up a wee bit and actually thought and put some heart into this. Favourite.
I had my reasons.
And they're all getting open top bus parades.
Oh, fucking hell. Good one.
He's raging. There we go. That's the playoffs. What do you think? What are Wraith's chances of going up in the playoffs this year?
I'm not gonna
Colin,
respond. I'm not gonna respond to that fucking bait. I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just let it hang. That fucking nonsense. This is a serious podcast, mate. You're asking a question that.
But you said you weren't going to reply to that. I'm not going to reply, but I'm going to tell you that I'm not replying because it's shite.
Shite patter. I'm not
like Charlie
replying.
Nicholas with the Specsavers.
Patter of it. I'm not going to say nothing back about it being an absolute disgrace. We're building for next season. Someone's building at Starts Park. I'll tell you that for a fact. And we're going to fucking win the league next year. A struggy fact.
Excellent. Right. Thanks, lads, for all your fantastic wisdom, insights, banter, and just company over the last 50 episodes. What a train it's been on Tinpot.
In a world where sponsorship is more accessible than ever, that world exists at sportsponsorship.co.uk. Whether you're interested in making a difference to your local community or further afield, or perhaps you're looking for access to tens of thousands of followers online to push your brand further than ever, get in touch with sportsponsorship.co.uk. That's sportsponsorship.co.uk.
And we're going to have a quiz to end the 50th episode, as we always do. We've not missed a single quiz in any of these episodes. We always provide.
Yeah, even me and Andrew's
And it's
quiz.
another team.
We did.
What's that, mate?
Me and Andrew's quiz when you weren't here. Just Googling
I listened to that. It was good.
Googling questions
Googled
on
it
this
question
spot.
by
Brutal. We missed the quiz master. That's a fucking fact as well.
That's a struggle fact.
Assisted by Alfred Inglewood, from what I remember.
Squire.
Right, you're teaming up for this quiz, gents. Sorry, I will do a head-to-head one week, but this one is just much better teaming up. 5 questions, which you might think, oh, that's going to be over pretty quickly, but they're thinking on in your block type questions, all about this season in the SPFL. And I know you're sitting there, or maybe standing there, or lying there, thinking, listeners, why has he done this now? The season's not over yet. Should have done this at the end of the season. Well, let me tell you, I realised that after I'd written the quiz, but I'm still going to use it because I didn't have time. Question 1 for Matthew and Andrew, Team Mandrew or Athew. How many points were deducted from clubs across the SPFL in 25-26, the season 25-26?
Okay, so Hamilton got like
Total points.
Hamilton was
that
like
were deducted.
25, was it? 25.
Hamilton,
Was Edinburgh City 25? Hamilton
just-
like 50.
Hamilton, Edinburgh City,
Dumbarton, Inverness.
Dumbarton, yeah.
I think that was it.
Right.
Inverness was 5. I know that for a
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
Druggy fact?
Yep. Dumbarton was 5
Yeah.
as well, was it? Maybe 10.
I think it wasn't a lot because again they got the majority of their points deducted, I believe, last season, like Inverness. So yeah, maybe say 5 then. But yeah, it could be 10, but we can decide, I guess.
Edinburgh
at the
City was
end.
25.
Edinburgh City. It's pretty significant.
30?
Yeah. I reckon it was probably a 25
Okay,
point
25.
deduction.
And then Hamilton 30, do you think?
Hamilton. 30 seems a lot.
25 again? We'll go 25 again? Just to speak
I would go 25 again. Let's do that. So that would take us up to 60, unless we do Dumbarton with an extra 5,
Yeah,
and that
let's
would
do
take us to
65.
65.
Yeah, 65.
65 then. All right,
I'll
Tom,
give you a
65.
buffer, plus or minus 5 either way.
Let's say 66 then.
Okay. Well, that would fuck us entirely, because if it's 60, then
Mine's 64.
64 then.
Final
Okay,
answer?
64, yeah, fine.
64, plus or minus 5 is wrong, unfortunately, lads. I was trying to be kind and squeeze you a point, but the answer is 5 points deducted for Cali, 21 for Hamilton,
21.
5 for Dumbarton, 15 for Edinburgh City,
Only
which is
15?
46 in
They've
total.
done shit this season then. I have to take my prediction back. They're fucking going down. They're crap.
Too late, you can't take it back.
I've got like a 40 points
take it back
deduction. They're fucking pish.
Question 2. All of these answers are numbers, by the way. This is a numbers-based quiz.
Shucks.
What are the aggregate scores across the major derbies in the Premiership
Jesus
this season?
Christ.
So the Glasgow Derby, the Edinburgh Derby, and the Dundee Derby. So there's 4 matches in each derby.
Major
I'm looking for a total score. So, for example, if you add up the scores in Celtic v Rangers, all 4 league games, you might say it was 20-3, just for example. It's obviously not 20
And the Fife Derby? Yeah.
No, we're just doing the major
Major
3
derbies,
in the
alright.
Premiership.
Okay.
Wait,
So not the
Whoa.
total goals scored. We're basically saying, on aggregate, what was the score between Celtic and Rangers? What was
Okay.
the aggregate score between Hearts and Hibs?
So it was
Aggregate score
0-0,
Dundee and Dundee United.
0-0, 1-1, 2-2, 2-2, 3-1, and 1-1.
I don't really know.
You fucking watched the games, man.
I don't know. I'm not really sure what we're doing, so I'm going to
yes,
just keep going so we don't have to keep explaining it. But yeah,
No, Struggy understands, Gildy doesn't. But then Struggy just starts naming scores without naming what fixture he's talking about.
Cumulative score of Celtic vs Rangers games this season, like 15-9 or some shit.
all right, okay.
What were the
fine.
scores?
Well, yeah, I think
No.
I think first one was 0-0, yeah, with Rogers.
3-1 or 3-2 or 2-1. What was it?
Shut up, man.
Rangers,
Fuck me.
Rangers beat them at Celtic
How are
Park.
you supposed to add things up? You just
Let's
spouted out numbers.
just say 20.
Bloody Igaman scored.
Eggman wasn't
Oh, that was
there.
last season.
Oh my
It
god.
was Mikey Moore.
Oh,
It was 3-1.
let's just say 15.
No.
Let's just say 15.
No.
It was 0-0.
I
We need the
can't.
score.
It's like fucking living in the Matrix. Like 1, 3, 3, 1, 7, 9. No.
Andrew.
Eagleman,
Oh.
1.
Andrew.
It's like he's trying to put you off, but he's in your team.
I know,
Shush.
exactly.
It was 0-0.
It's brutal.
3-1 to Rangers
Yes.
at Celtic Park. 2-2.
I'll help you. Correct so far.
2-2.
Correct so far.
2-2. And then 3-1
Yes.
to Celtic. So it was a draw.
Correct. Yeah, but what's the score?
Oh,
Add them up.
okay. Andrew, do
Yes,
the math.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12-12.
Yeah, but what's the score?
6-0.
Yeah, 6-0.
Oh, right. Okay.
Finally, you get the idea. So the Edinburgh Derby,
Okay, Andrew.
you got 1 point. You get 3 points in total here.
Hibs, Hearts beat them both
I
1-0 at
don't
Tiny.
remember any of the games.
Hearts beat them both 1-0
Right.
at Tynecastle. Hibs beat them 3-2 at Easter Road, and then Hearts beat them 2-1 at Easter Road. So you've got 3 for Hibs plus 1 for Hibs. That's 3.
1, 2,
And
3,
then
4,
1, 2.
5, 6 for Hearts, and then 4 for Hibs.
No, 3.
Correct. 6-4
yeah.
is the
Yes.
aggregate score.
Come on.
Well done. And then United and Dundee
Nobody cares,
Yes,
so
I
we can't
guess.
remember.
for a clean sweep.
2-0 to United at Dens. 1-0 to Dundee at Tannadice, so you can shut up. 2-2 at Dens. And 3-0 United at Tannadice.
It's Robbo.
You do you do
So
that.
what's that? 7, 3. Is that right?
Correct. 3 points. Well done, lads.
Got there in the end, Andrew.
Salvage something after getting the first one wrong.
Well done, Struggy.
Thank you.
Question 3, and you're going to love this one. How many managers have there been in charge of championship clubs this season? This includes co-managers, player managers, interim managers, and obviously just full-time permanent managers.
Okay, Andrew, let's start from top to bottom. So St Johnstone kept their manager, that's fine. Partick Thistle kept their manager, that's fine. Third place was Arbroath, they have 2 managers. That's 1 manager, 1
2
manager.
managers, yeah.
2 managers. Fourth on Fairmont, 1 manager.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth, Rovers, 2 managers. Plus Paul Hanlon, 3 managers.
Yeah.
Hanlon is interim charge as well, 3 managers.
That's true, yeah.
Then you've got Queen's Park. I think the guy stayed the whole time, so 1 manager.
I think it's 1, yeah.
Then Ayr, I'll take 2 managers because Brown and then whoever took charge of the last few games before Brown. From
Yeah.
Brown left, that's 2.
And technically they've not got... Yeah,
not
that's
yet.
fine, yeah.
Then
Mhm.
Morton had 2. Emery and
2.
then Murray. Who else we got?
Was there a caretaker in the
Oh yeah,
middle?
Billy Davis must have taken over a game or 2. Yeah, I think. Good shout.
Right, okay.
Who we got left? Airdrie had, I think, 2 because McCabe
About
was
8
manager for
managers or
like
something.
2 games and he left, and then someone else took over, so we'll say 2. No,
Yeah,
wait,
he was
Danny
there
Lennon
at
was
the
there for
start.
like fucking game or 2. He was terrible, so put 3 for Airdrie.
Okay.
And then County, you've got Cowie, John Robertson is interim. Fucking
Yeah.
fucking
Singing Kettle.
the Kettle and Tony Docks. That's 4. I don't think they had anyone in between.
No.
I'll say 4, and then is that it? Is there anyone else?
That's all your teams?
Okay, so
That's 21.
1.
Correct!
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Come on.
21. That was I mean, I don't want to say just 1 in you helped each other, but Struggy Masterclass naming all the managers
Yeah,
and all the interims.
100%.
And, unbelievable.
100%.
He's the championship.
Very
victor.
impressive.
For a
Yeah,
reason.
stuck on that fucking Sean McGuigan. You can't do that, man.
Savage. Right. Perhaps a much more straightforward question. Question 4. How many goals were scored in the opening fixture of the Scottish Premiership this season?
I honestly can't remember.
I think
The
Rangers.
opening fixture.
So you got Rangers 1, Motherwell 1. Martin throwing.
Just the opening fixture. The first
Oh, the first game. So Celtic,
Just the opening
Celtic
fixture.
versus St Mirren, was it? Or
I
Dundee,
can't
maybe?
remember who they played.
I think Celtic won 3-0, maybe? 3-0?
I'm happy to go with that guess.
Sounds like a classic Celtic flag raising. Was it a Friday night
Yeah.
game? Oh, there wouldn't be a Friday night game in the Scottish.
I don't
Premiership.
remember Rogers losing this first
Was
game.
it 1-0? Was it 1-0 really shite game? It was 3-0 or it was 1-0.
I'd go for 3.
I think they definitely played St Mirren, I'm sure. And it was quite. Because they played St
I
Mirren
don't
in the
know.
last
I
game last season. They
genuinely
played them in
don't
the
know.
first game. Yeah, go 3-0.
Okay.
3-0 Celtic.
So, how many goals were scored in the opening fixture?
3.
3.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It was 4.
4-0.
It was Kilmarnock 2, Livingston 2 in the opening game.
Oh, great. What a fucking great
Dear
game.
me.
Celtic played the day after,
What did-
and it was 1-0 against St Mirren.
It was 1-0.
Shucks.
A chance to redeem yourselves somewhat.
Shite
I'll give
first
you a
game.
chance to get the bonus point.
Yeah.
Who scored the opening goal of said game, thus the opening goal of the season for the Premiership?
Kelly versus Livingston.
4-2. Let's go Bruce Anderson. Don't know why. Brucey.
What are you saying 4-2 for? It was 2-2.
Yeah, Andrew.
Bruce Anderson, yeah. I mean...
It wasn't
yeah,
Banderson.
It
It was...
chicken lasagna.
Yes! Gennaro Daniels.
Oh.
Okay.
There you go.
Close enough.
Good guy.
Right, final question of the quiz. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 points from a possible 6 so far.
Decent.
67% by my maths. So this one, I'll say it's needed to
That's
get
an
the win. East Kilbride. What's that,
That's an
mate?
A university. It's not 67%.
I thought it was 70.
Was it? Fuck
You're
yeah,
wrong.
that's wow.
Question 5.
Shite.
There might be a lag here because I keep saying stuff and then I keep getting struggy speaking.
It's just me interrupting you. Just me interrupting you.
I'll just keep pausing. Hopefully you'll shut the fuck up. East Kilbride won their second successive promotion this year, winning League 2. What was their points tally after their 36th and final match?
What was East Kilbride's points tally at the end of the season?
Yes.
75?
Was it as much as that? Maybe.
Yeah.
Because they
I
actually
think
did
they ended up like
pretty
6
well.
points clear or something like that. Did they not? Barton's just sort of imploded.
I think it's a fair guess, mate, to be honest. It's got to be about there.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for that. 75.
Plus or minus 5 has not saved you again. It was 69
Oh,
points.
my favourite number.
5
Legends.
ahead of the Spartans.
69. I guess the shite points tallies the winners of the league, eh? Fucking 69 points, man.
I think they should change the rule first to 69 wins the league. So
Yeah.
we would have won the league.
Who's paying
this
for the
season.
open top bus parade for that fucking 69 fucking result, mate? Fucking Brazzers.
That's true. It's fake taxi. It's just a big taxi.
Oh, God.
Nothing
Milk
that
Hunter.
taxi.
Milk Hunter. Mind Milk Hunter. That guy was a fucking man.
talking
This
about.
is like old school. Like, I was fucking like 15, like, MILF Hunter was just an old guy who would just like go about finding these MILFs on the street and he'd be like, go up to them and talk to them. Be like,
You can't be. Oh, you can't be.
You'd always
discussing
watch the
this. You've got-
previews, you could never-
you've got a job.
I would go in and like you'd go and get the
You couldn't leave the
previews.
job.
You'd go in and watch the previews because you couldn't like. We'd never pay for it because it was like my dad's fucking computer, so I'd go and watch the previews. So you wouldn't get much, but you'd get enough.
On that note, I'm going to cut you off before you get yourself in trouble.
It's not against the law to look at ladies of the night. It's not a fucking criminal offence.
You did mention your age in this, so
I was
I'm not
15,
sure
I
what
was
the rules are.
watching TV.
Plenty.
Well, you're
Right,
on Sky, you actually go
thanks
down a few
for
channels.
listening.
Oh fuck, I've ended on
I'm just
909.
going to dull his voice out and say
Oh,
goodnight.
I'm at the 900.
Goodbye.
I'll just
Goodbye.
move for Sky News.